All right, sorry, it looks a little dark in here. Let me see if I can brighten this up. So, I recently had a dream. Well, this morning or last night, whatever you want to call it. I got up this morning. The Most High woke me up this morning. I just got back from I went to a town that's not too far away. So, I had this dream. I actually went to school. Well, I had this dream last night, and when I woke up this morning, when the Most High woke me up this morning, I thought, you know what? My thoughts were like, what BS was this? And I said this morning, I'm going to stop saying that because it's not BS. It's a gift from the Most High. It's a revelation that I asked for. I asked for revelation from the Most High and He's given to me. But sometimes they're so strange that I don't get it. It's almost like it's just a weird dream. But I get it now. So since the dream was so strange when I first woke up, I didn't write it down or anything. Which from now on, I'm going to start writing down my dreams every time I have them and I can remember them no matter how strange I think they are. So this was the dream. There was a first part of the dream, but I don't remember what it was. So the second part of the dream, or kind of towards the end of the dream, I had walked into this church, and it was like, you know, those steel or silver bleachers that are at like basketball games, kind of like kids' basketball games. That's where we were sitting at. It was like a short space. There's probably 50 or 60 people, and I saw one of my aunts and one of my cousins there that I never dream about, that I can never remember dreaming about them, but they were there in the congregation. And there was this woman preaching, and I'm pretty sure it's a woman on YouTube that I subscribe to. The other day I saw, back when I was a Christian, I'm not now. The other day I saw a video suggested to me, and I think it was from her. I'm not really sure. It may have been from someone else. The video was a video of a Gentile talking about 10 things Christians should know. So I just put on there, I'm not interested. So now again, I don't have anything against Christians at all, nothing against Gentiles, but I don't accept teachings from Gentiles anymore. Again, if they want to teach me how to play the piano, or, you know, something with music, something without words or wisdom, I can do that, but I don't take Bible teachings. I don't take any teachings of the Most High from Gentiles at all. So now that being said, in the second part of this dream, you know, I walked into this congregation, and I'm sitting in the church, and there's this female preacher, and I'm pretty sure it was this preacher that I seen on YouTube. I'm not going to say her name. So after I was sitting there, what I remember her saying is, at the end, I was looking at her, and it's like I could almost hear her thoughts. I was looking at her, and she was like, well, she had something really important to say. But instead of saying that, she said, well, I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I know you got to go do your things, go out to eat and do all this stuff. So she was like, I'm going to go ahead and just close early. And I remember thinking, like, she has something important to say. Why didn't she just say it? You know what I'm saying? And then I remember being able to see her facial features and seeing that she could see people slouching down and falling asleep and rolling their eyes like they were tired of being in church, right? And they're ready to go. So again, instead of her saying this important message from the Most High, she decided to go ahead and just close out, you know, because people are ready to go. All right. So once she said that, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. I got up and I went to the bathroom. And when I got into the bathroom, suddenly I wasn't in the bathroom anymore. I was in there for like a minute or so. And I have this in quite a few of my dreams. I like went up in the spirit into another place. Now this place, when I got there, I looked down and it was the driest, most cracked ground. I looked down and, you know, like you see a desert looking on TV where it's not even any sand anymore. It's so dry. It's just like scorched earth, like yellow earth. And there was all these thick, dark cracks between it everywhere. And I looked ahead, and as far as the eye could see, there was this thick, cracked, parched desert. There was no life in it, no water, no plants, no nothing. And the sun was beaming down, right? I didn't see the sun, but I could see the light of the sun. So ahead of me was four things. There was this red, it kind of looked like a Mazda Miata, but I don't think it was. It was like this red convertible, an older style convertible, but it was a new car, and or it was like a fancy car. And these two Gentiles, one of the Gentiles was George from what's that show? Seinfeld. You remember the bald-headed white guy? One of the Gentiles was him with his glasses, and the other Gentile was another Gentile that's on TV a lot. And both of the Gentiles opened the trunk of this red car, and they pulled out Victoria Roel, which is this black lady who used to be in a lot of, I think she's actually half white. She used to be in a lot of soap operas back in the day. She was also in Dumber and Dumber, the first one. Dumb and Dumber, the first one. She was like the girlfriend. So they pulled her out. She had on this white nightie, like a white gown. It was so shiny and white. It was very clean. And to have been stuffed in a trunk, you know, your clothes wouldn't be clean like that. I remember that her clothes were so clean and shiny. She had on this white nightgown. It was fitted, but not too tight, you know. It looked like something that a wife would wear to bed, to go to bed with her husband. So when they pulled her out, she looked nervous, but she didn't look worried. She didn't look afraid, but she looked nervous. And there was a lace tied around her neck. It was like kind of like a leash, really. It was tied around her neck, and then it was tied to something in the back of the trunk. So she's just like laying outside the trunk with her knees or like her feet on the parched ground, and her back is leaning up on the trunk. And so the two Gentiles are smiling and everything. And Victoria Roel had like this braid. You know how some of the black females have the braid crown around the top of their head? She had like a big braid around the top of her head, right? So I'm looking, and I'm like, what's going on here? And my first thought was, you know, are they going to try to rape her? What are they doing? And I realized they had taken all the clothes. They had taken everything she had, really. And then I looked, and I said, wow, I realized they couldn't see me. That's when I knew I was in the spirit, because to them, I didn't exist. I wasn't there. I was invisible, but I could see everything they were doing. So I looked at the lace leash that she had. It was just like a piece of lace somebody tied around her neck and tied to something in the trunk of the car. She could have easily broken it, but she didn't. So then I was suddenly back in the bathroom. Once I saw their face, she was nervous. Suddenly I was back in the church bathroom, and I woke up. So when I woke up, I was like, wow, what kind of dream was that? And now I know what type of dream it was. I asked the Most High to give me an interpretation. I started interpreting, and then I asked him to give me an interpretation. This is what I believe the dream meant. That woman, Victoria Roel, she was basically the bride of Yeshua, or the bride of Christ, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That's what I believe she was. And that's why she was dressed like she was getting ready for bed, like she was getting ready to lay down safely. But instead of that, she had been kidnapped, and she was tied to the end of this vehicle, or tied to the trunk. But it's a tie that she could easily break. But if she broke it, where would she go? I mean, it was parched desert, and I understand what that meant as well, how dry and cracked it was. There was no word, which is the word of the Most High, is water. You know what I'm saying? It's the word of the book of the Bible, the word of the Most High, the word of the Son is water to us. There was no water anywhere. There was not one plant, one weed, one blade of grass, nothing like that. So where was she going to go? These two Gentiles were famous Gentiles. You understand? So, and I had just left out of this church that was obviously not only lukewarm, it was cold. It was nothing going on in that church. No real message being spoken. Nobody being saved. No nothing. It was just somebody else putting on a show and talking to people. So what I took the dream to be is the current day church, especially the Christian church. And again, I don't have anything against Christians at all. Many of my relatives are still Christians. Okay. So the current day church and many of the current day Christian churches are actually, I think the bride, Victoria Roel, represented those that really believe in the Most High and believe in the Son, Yeshua, our Messiah. You know, and the church is tying them, has bound them to the church to be, if the church was a vehicle, the members are at the end because they give money, thousands of dollars every year. The church is basically robbing them, taking everything they have, stripping them of their dignity, stripping them of their beliefs, almost stripping them of to their down, basically to their underwear. And there's no word, there's no water being given to this bride at all. None at all. She's out here, she's nervous. But the thing is, and I think a lot of it is like these famous preachers that are giving you all this hope. If you plant a seed, not if you believe in the Most High, if you plant a seed, if you pay your tithes and give them all, all you've got, so they can buy their huge homes and the nice cars, and they can do all this other stuff for themselves. But I really feel like that woman, Victoria Roel, dressed like a wife getting ready for bed, was the bride of Christ. And she's out in the desert somewhere in the wilderness. It's not even wilderness. The wilderness has trees. She's just out in the desert somewhere with these two Gentiles, famous Gentiles. They've got her tied to the back of the vehicle, which is probably the church. And it's like she's nervous but not afraid, because she knows eventually she's going to be saved. It's like she's waiting for someone to come save her. But she could have easily ripped this tie, this leash that's on her neck that's controlling her. She could have easily ripped it and ran on. But since it was just dry, cracked, parched land, where was she going to go? Where was she going to run to? There wasn't any water there being given. And it's almost as if she didn't have anything to have enough faith to know that. She didn't have any hope to have enough faith to know that the Most High would take care of her and lead her into an oasis. She couldn't see any of that from where she was. All she could see was dried, parched land. And I took that to mean that water is not being fed to the sheep of the Most High. Water is not being given to them. They're just in a dry place with no hope. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what I took it as. The church is basically draining the life out of the saints. It's taking all they have, even the clothes off their back, and it's got them tied to this church that's lukewarm. It's not going anywhere. It's not feeding them. It's not giving them water. It's doing nothing. The bride of Christ is literally suffering right now. That's what I took it as. So long story short, that's the dream I had today. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. All right, if you have any questions, you can post them below. This is a dream I had. I'll be posting this video today if it goes up quickly. Sometimes it takes depending on where I am, sometimes it takes a while for the video to upload. All right, thank you.